Imagine you're a world-class violinist. You've spent 20 years mastering the most difficult concertos. Your technique is flawless. You practice 10 hours a day until your fingers bleed because you believe that being the best is the only way to win. Then you walk into a theater and see a guy standing on a podium. He isn't holding an instrument. He isn't making a single sound himself. He's just waving a small wooden stick in the air. He's the conductor. While you are sweating over a single string, he is controlling the energy of 80 people. He isn't working harder than you. His heart rate is probably lower than yours, but he has more leverage. If you stop playing, the music thins out. If he stops moving, the entire performance collapses. Here's the thing. Most smart people are violinists. They think the path to success is to become a more perfect version of themselves. Sharper skills, more knowledge, more hours. They are optimizing the individual instrument. But the world doesn't pay for perfect instruments anymore. It pays for conductors. It rewards the person who knows exactly where to tap the machine to make it hum, not the person who hits it the hardest. This is strategic leverage. You are currently using 90% of your brain power to play a solo that nobody is listening to. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put down the violin, pick up the baton, and stop wasting your intelligence on things that don't move the needle. My name is Brainy, and I spend way too much time thinking about how our minds interact with the world and the systems around us. If you're someone who feels like you're thinking carefully but still falling behind, make sure to hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Most people don't realize that the human brain is an energy hog. It represents about 2% of your body weight, but uses 20% of your daily calories. Because of this, your brain is biologically designed to seek closure. It wants to feel like it's accomplished something so it can stop burning fuel. This is where it gets really interesting. Your brain cannot distinguish between high-leverage work, writing the code, making the sales call, and low-leverage simulation, organizing your desktop, checking emails, researching. When you spend 4 hours planning your week, your brain releases dopamine. It tells you, "Good job, we're prepared." But in the real world, nothing has changed. Your bank account hasn't moved. Your project hasn't launched. You've fallen into the cognitive mirage, the feeling of progress without the reality of it. Look, intelligence is like fuel. If you put premium racing fuel into a lawnmower, you're still just cutting grass. Strategic leverage is about making sure you're putting that fuel into a rocket ship. We've all heard of the Pareto principle. 80% of results come from 20% of causes. But we rarely apply this to our own thoughts. Think about your typical workday. You probably make 100 small decisions. Which font should I use? How should I word this internal Slack message? Should I eat lunch at 1200 or 1230? These are wrong things. They consume your decision capital. By the time you get to the 1 or 2 decisions that actually matter, like, what is the core value proposition of my business? Your brain is fried. You're trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation of mental exhaustion. This is where most people get it wrong. They think being smart means being right about everything. Actually, being smart means being aggressively indifferent to almost everything, so you can be ruthlessly right about the one thing that matters. In physics, a lever allows you to move a heavy object with minimal force. In the mental world, leverage is a force multiplier. Imagine you have to move 1,000 gallons of water. The hard worker uses a bucket. They think, if I just run faster and carry more, I'll win. They burn out. The smart person without leverage spends weeks designing the perfect, lightweight, ergonomic bucket. They still have to carry it. The leverage engineer spends their time building a pipe. Building the pipe is harder than carrying one bucket, but once the pipe is built, the water moves itself forever. What are the pipes of your life? 1. Code/content. Things that work while you sleep. 2. Delegation. Using other people's brains to solve your low-leverage problems. 3. Judgment. Making one big decision that removes 1,000 small decisions. Now you might be thinking, But brainy, if I don't focus on the details, the whole thing will fall apart. But here's why that's not enough. If you spend your life preventing small fires, you will never have the time to build a forest. You are optimizing for not losing instead of winning. Thinking alone is a solo sport, but the world rewards team sports. This is a systemic force that smart people often ignore because they are used to being the smartest person in the room. If you solve a problem in your head, the value is 1. If you communicate that solution to 10 people who can execute it, the value is 10. If you build a system where those 10 people can solve the problem without you, the value is 100. Smart people often fall behind because they have a cognitive ego. They think, it's faster if I just do it myself. While that might be true for one task, it is a recipe for stagnation. You are capped by your own 24 hours. Dave, from our opening story, has no cap because he leverages the time and energy of everyone around him. If you want to stop using your brain on the wrong things, you need to implement a strategic filter. Step 1. The kill list. Look at your to-do list for tomorrow. Identify the 3 things that, if you did them perfectly, would change nothing in 6 months. Delete them. Or do them as messily as possible in 5 minutes. Stop giving B-level tasks A+ effort. Step 2. Identify the single point of failure. In any project, there is usually one thing that, if it fails, the whole thing dies. Most people spend 90% of their time on the nice-to-haves and ignore the death point. Ask yourself, what is the one thing that makes all other tasks unnecessary or easier? Focus your brain there. Step 3. The leverage audit. At the end of every day, ask, did I spend today carrying buckets or building pipes? If you spent the day carrying buckets, you didn't grow. You just survived. Aim for at least 2 hours of pipe building every single day. Conclusion. Intelligence is a gift, but it's also a distraction. Your brain is so good at solving problems that it will happily solve useless problems just to stay busy. Stop being the person who is efficient at things that shouldn't be done at all. Efficiency is doing things right. Strategic leverage is doing the right things. In the next video, we're going to dive into the psychology of momentum. I'm going to show you how to stop the start-stop cycle that kills most great ideas, and how to use your initial bursts of intelligence to create an unstoppable chain reaction of results. If this video made you realize you've been focusing on the wrong things, leave a comment below. What's one bucket you're going to drop today so you can start building a pipe? I'll see you in the next one. Don't just use your brain, leverage it.